A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students of 10th class, today our topic is on relative clause. Relative clause is in your syllabus. Before we come to our topic, relative clause, we should be fully aware of the word clause, or what is a clause, or what do we mean by the word clause. Clause, it is a group of words with its own subject plus predicate. Predicate means finite verb plus other words. Since clause contains a verb, so we call it a finite clause. We call it a finite clause. And finite clause a clause which has its subject plus predicate, we call it a clause, or we can also call it a finite clause. And this clause, it can be a sentence. When we say it can be a sentence, then we call it main clause. It can also be a part of a sentence. When it is a part of a sentence, we can call it subordinate clause. We can also call it coordinate clause. For example, when we say she was absent because she was ill, she was absent because she was ill, that means this sentence has two clauses. One clause, she was absent, and another clause, because she was ill. She was absent is main clause. Because she was ill, it is a dependent clause. Then another sentence, if you need this book, you will learn English. This very sentence also has two clauses. If you need this book, you will learn English. You will learn English is a main clause, and if you need this book, it is a dependent clause. Then another sentence, he does not know what to do now. What to do now. This he does not know what to do now, we do not call this sentence that it is made up of two clauses. it is rather made up of only one clause. He does not know what to do now. What to do now, it is not a clause, it is a phrase. What to do now. That means he does not know what to do now. It is a sentence having only one clause. It will be more clear to us if we try to throw light on phrase, or we can say non-finite clause. What is phrase or what is non-finite clause? A group of words without a finite verb, having no finite verb. It is also a group of words, but without a finite verb. We call it a phrase, and we do not call it a clause. A phrase, and what is phrase? A phrase, it usually forms part of a sentence. For example, she is a girl with short hair. This is a sentence. This sentence is also made up of only one clause. She is a girl with short hair. Here, she is a girl. We can call it a clause. She is a girl. How can we call it a clause? Because it has a subject and a finite verb. Subject, she, is finite verb. It has a subject and a finite verb, but with short hair. It is a phrase. We cannot call it a clause. Because why we cannot call it a clause? Because it has no finite verb with short hair. Since a phrase does not contain a finite verb, it is also called, it is another name. We can also call it a non-finite clause. For example, he does not know what to do. He does not know what to do. And this what to do, he does not know, it is a clause. And what to do is a phrase, or we can say it is a non-finite clause. We can also call a phrase non-finite clause. Then we come to our topic, relative clause. Relative clause before we come, there is another point which we should keep in mind. How we make relative clause. There is a kind of a pronoun and we call it relative pronoun. And this relative pronoun, it helps us in making relative clause, or relative pronouns help us making relative clauses. And what is this relative pronoun? This relative pronoun, it relates, or we can say it refers back to a person, or we can say thing. And this person or thing it is called its antecedent. We call it antecedent. This is one thing here. And another thing in the relative pronoun is it also joins clauses. It also joins clauses. When there are two clauses, this relative pronoun helps us to join clauses. Two clauses here. Relative pronouns, and what do these relative pronouns do? What is the function of relative pronouns? They take the place of the subject or the object, and they combine two sentences and make them one single sentence. And relative pronouns, they introduce relative clauses. They also introduce noun clauses. Then the relative pronouns, to whom we call relative pronouns, there is who, which, that, whom, whose. When there is subject pronoun, we use who for people, which for things, that for people or things, for both rather. And when there is object pronoun, we use who or whom for people, which for things, and that for people or things. And when there is possessive pronoun, we use whose for people and also for things. That means we use whose for people as well as things. And these relative clauses, they tell us what they tell us. They tell us more about things, or we can say more about people. We use relative clauses to make clear. It makes us clear which person or thing we are talking about. Which person, it makes us clear which person or thing we are talking about. And this relative clause, it can come after the subject or the object. So you understand relative pronouns, clause, what are clauses, what are phrases, what are finite clauses, or what are non-finite clauses, or what is a non-finite clause. Then in our next topic, we will go straight to our topic, that is relative clause. How do we make relative clause, and what are the types of relative clauses? Thanks.